I'm Fred McMurray. It's Thursday. It's noon. It's time for the Lion of Networking, the butt kicker of K-Fred, the woman who knows networking, Lunch with Lynn. Take it away, Lynn.
Thank you, Fred. So we have lots more people that will still be getting on. I want to welcome Selena. I want to welcome Rohan. We're happy to have you back with us, Rohan. Tara, we're glad to have you with us again today. Valerie, happy to have you with us. A couple more people. Alicia, we haven't seen you in a while. We're happy to have you here today.
You're up. AI companion button.
Jeff Johnson. We're always happy to have Jeff Johnson with us.
Hello.
Actually live on the air, guys, now.
Video
I want to make sure that everyone that's been here before.
Google Chrome. Title bar.
Where
Video content. Post attendee Google Chrome. Video content.
Alicia.
665443322.5.
I want to make sure everyone knows that we do use the chat. Make sure that you have name, email address, and phone number at least in the chat. You can put anything else in there that you'd like. We also, as we use the chat, here's the other reason. Selena, you're going to find that you're not able to save the chat. Do not worry about that. Everybody gets a copy of the chat with all the information in it. I will send that to you. And so I want you to listen very carefully. If Dawn is giving her a presentation on who she is, and she's someone that you definitely want to talk to quickly, because I want you to reach out to everyone, and everyone on this call knows that, Selena. You will hear from everybody on the call. Rohan, I want to make sure you remember that as well. So if Dawn is talking and that's somebody that you definitely want to make sure you talk to right away, just put in the chat that you'd like to connect with Dawn. And that way, when I send the chat out, there's a special section called Connections. Scroll through that, find your name, and find those people that would like to talk to you first. And just go to them first and then go to everyone else. Okay? So everyone will get an opportunity to speak about themselves and their business. I also have some speakers that will normally be on. Speakers will speak for 5 minutes on specific topics. We have them here for that reason. And I also want you to know that we always have a question of the day. I don't want anybody to ever panic about the question of the day. There is no right or wrong answer for these questions. They are merely conversation starters to just get everybody lightened up and realize that it's just about having a good time. That's really all it is. So the question of the day today, if everyone is ready for it, is what old people thing are you doing? Old people things. I'm sure everybody's got at least one of those things that they're actually finding themselves doing, going, oh, wait a minute, this is an old people thing that I'm doing. Hi, Jan. Hi, Mark. Hi, Victor. Hi, Jaya. So we're ready to get everything started. So I'm going to start today, and let me take a quick look. I'm going to let Jaya, who is one of our sponsors, I'm going to let Jaya go first today. So Jaya, as our sponsor, gets 5 minutes to tell us all about what it is she does. So Jaya, welcome, and you are up first.
Thank you. That's amazing. I'm Jaya Kasturi, a board-certified internist who has been practicing medicine for God alone knows how many years. So I got interested in holistic medicine about 28 years ago and included in my practice. That's how I started doing a lot of research, found that I could use some of these products, and my patients' diabetes, if they were pre-diabetic, they never developed diabetes. For 15 years I followed. This was really very amazing. That's why I decided to go full in this whole functional medicine business. I started in 2017 with a company which has the best scientifically produced products. This is not a supplement company. It's an activation company.
Recording in progress.
There's a difference between activation and supplementation. I want you all to know. Majority of the companies we have is supplement companies. What our products do, they are natural products in such combination that they are synergistically acting on our particular genes to make our own body's genes function for us. Like antioxidants, we are supposed to make, but from the age of 20, we start making less and less. That's why we get more infection also. But if you supplement with any antioxidant out from outside, it doesn't take care of all the toxicity that is there, the free radicals in the cell. So you need your own genes to be activated and produce your own antioxidants. You can increase your glutathione by 300%, catalase by 50%, and superoxide dismutase by 34%. No other product can do it. Same way, the company brought out a liquid collagen which activates your own genes to make it. It does not only contain supplement of collagen, it also activates we have identified those genes, it activates them and produces collagen, and we make sure the collagen is maintained, not destroyed. That is very important. And that's why our results are fantastic. Now we have come out with GLP-1 weight loss product. We all know about injectable GLP-1 used for diabetic patients. Some people use for obesity reduction, but we have a natural product. We take it orally. It activates your own intestinal mucosa to produce 140% of GLP-1 of your own body. What can be best? That your own body is producing everything. And that is my message. Do some research and go and see how these products work. Also, we have 31 peer-reviewed publications. We are publicly traded. This company is going up. There is no debt. We are going to hit 1 billion mark very soon. And I have to tell you that my income doubled because of last month when the weight loss product came. This month we have completely doubled it. I'm doing a meeting today in Chicago in Holiday Inn in Oak Brook Terrace. If somebody wants to come, you are welcome. It's at 7 in the evening. We have a lot of doctors coming and talking about it. I would welcome all of you. That's my message.
Oh, Jaya, you must like all the chubby people. And now that we're getting ready for Thanksgiving, that must be very good for your business.
Yeah. In fact, we ran out of that 6-month inventory in 13 days.
I want you guys to all know that Dr. Jaya has been a Western medicine doctor for over 50 years, and I don't think she took real well to retirement. I think when it came time to retire, most people would have said, okay, I think I'll sit home now and relax. Not Jaya. Jaya decided that rather than relax, she found some alternative things that she researched considerably. That's part of her being a doctor, and she believes in them wholeheartedly. And now when they come out with new products, she's always bubbling over with excitement to share all that stuff with all of you. So if you want to get prepared and get skinny for the holidays so you can eat extra turkey, I would probably talk to Jaya about this.
Yeah.
Jaya, how can they reach you?
My phone number is 708-646-1098. 708-646-1098. I always take the phone call. I return the call as soon as possible. There is no time, the 4 hours, 48 hours. It will be as soon as possible. And take it from me, and I will also help completely because we are looking for more consultants. My company is looking for more consultants. That's why I'm doing a big meeting here in Chicago today.
Jaya, so you're in the Chicagoland area, and what old people thing are you doing? Things are you doing that old people do?
Oh, you know what? Whenever I go near the gas, I make sure that I put it off because it's possible that at my age, you think you are dimming it and you may not put it off. So that's what I do. And another thing is, if I go to a room and I forget what I came for, I'm trying to keep on remembering the thing before I go into a room. These are important things. No matter whatever you look like, the mental decline occurs. We have to accept it. And we have to be ready for it by all kinds of methods.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much. So we're going to start with some of our introductions. So Dawn, you are up.
Okay, got off mute. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate you for all you do for us. Well, my name is Dawn Tellinghusen. I am with a company that has been around for 138 years. I'm an independent Avon ambassador for 41 years, and I support a team of over 200 ambassadors. Now, what do I want you to take a look at today? I know that we're on the radio, but we have a special gift guide available now at my online store, which will break down your gift suggestions under $15, under $20, under $50, stocking stuffers, whatever your needs are. Go to my online store, which is bit.ly//Avon Ambassador. And you can click on the tab Gift Guide, and you can decide what you want to spend for your holiday gifts. Choose them from Avon, put it in your cart. It'll get shipped directly to your door. No fighting with the malls or traffic or anything like that. We can help fill those stockings and those gift bags also. So, what old person thing I do? Well, I hate to admit this, but I still wear nightgowns.
Okay. That's okay. You want to tell them where you're from?
Oh, yes. I currently live in Indianapolis, Indiana. Love it here. We've been here now for 6 months, 6.5 months. And so I'm really looking to get to know all of you.
But I do know that she works everywhere, guys. She doesn't have to stick only to her general area. So thank you very much, Dawn. Dorothea, you're up next.
I knew I was next. Thank you, Lynn. Hi, everyone. I am Dorothea Hart. I am a retired pharmacist, and I help people to do what they want most. And, can you see me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. And so I help people look better, feel better without drugs. And so people ask me, well, how do you do that? Because, I was had problems, back 10 years ago. And so I have a 4-step roadmap. Step 1 is to dive deep into your problems and challenges. And so that's what we start with, just so I can understand what your problems are. And number 2, we put a plan together to achieve this. And number 3, we implement the plan just for you. And then 4, you get the results that you want. So you might want results of weight loss, or you might want other results for any other problem. So you just have to let me know what those problems are, and we'll set a roadmap just for you. You can reach me at 323-559-5537, and I will put my information in the chat. It's already in there. Look me up, make an appointment, and we can have a conversation.
You want to let them know where you're located?
And I'm located in Los Angeles and Detroit, but I can help you anywhere because we can always do Zoom.
Beautiful. And what old people thing are you doing?
Well, the old people thing that I used to do, because I already recognized it a long time ago, was, your glasses. I used to put the little chain on the glasses so that you wouldn't lose the glasses, and they would hang down on my neck. And people would say, oh, you look like an old lady. You do this. So I already recognized that. So I don't do it anymore. I took it off, and I just put my glasses on, and I just put them up here.
Do you ever lose them when they're on the top of your head? Sometimes I did that.
Yeah, looking for them, and they're up here.
Thank you so much, Dorothea. Keith Robinson, you're up next.
Golly gosh. Hello, everybody. Keith here. I'm heavily involved in health and wellness also, like obviously a lot of people here. I would be involved in a majority of time in the cardiovascular side because an awful lot of people are in trouble that area. They are having blood pressure issues, they're having cholesterol issues, they have cold feet, they have cold hands, and obviously anyone that's a diabetic, 2/3 of diabetics generally die from cardiovascular disease. So if you can take that problem off the table, well, then you're in a much better position. An awful lot of people do not manufacture enough nitric oxide. When you don't manufacture enough nitric oxide, you actually build up plaque in the arterial system. Average production is between 1 and 3 seconds worth. One person in two has natural blockers to nitric oxide production, and they will make less than that, and therefore they will clog up their arterial system faster. And then you're going to rush towards a cardiovascular incident a lot quicker. We can boost nitric oxide production up to and beyond 36 hours. Now you're going to melt the plaque in the arterial system. You're going to clean the vascular system. You're going to restore the blood flow to every organ and gland. And you're also going to take away the risk of a cardiovascular incident, which can take you off the playing board very quickly. We can also help strengthen the immune system, correct the pH of the body, reset the gut microbiome. They're all things that help the body to actually repair itself. And there is absolutely no point in hiding symptoms or dealing with symptoms of an issue by using medications, because the issue is still going to be there and it's still going to get worse. It makes a lot more sense to deal with the original problem, help the body to restore that health and have everything working properly. So that's me, and I hope anyone who wishes can connect with me and we can have a deeper discussion.
How do they reach out to you, Keith?
You can catch me on Facebook and LinkedIn from the chat. If you wish to connect either on WhatsApp or Signal or Telegram or any of those places that you can have free access around the world, you will get me on an Irish number, which is +353 is the Irish part of accessing me, and then it's 862524 So it's +353 862524
What happens if you don't do the plus before the number?
You can go 00353 or you can go +353.
I didn't know why they put the plus on there, but okay, that's good. And he's
plus
obviously
is the same as a shortcut for, it's a shortcut for 00.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you very much, Keith. Catherine Wilking, you're up next.
Whole thing.
Hello, hello. Oh, did you do your whole thing? Go ahead, Keith.
No.
Oh, he didn't tell us his old people thing.
Oh! So we know what your old thing is anyway.
Yes, my old
Forgetfulness.
Forgetful.
One day, my younger daughter said to me, "Daddy, there's a hair growing out of the middle of your forehead." She said, "You mustn't have got the notice about the receding hairline."
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And before I go, I would like to congratulate everybody who voted for making America great again.
Very good. Very good.
Because
Thank you very much.
You don't know how important that is. That's a vote for getting the economy back into action. That's a vote for stopping child trafficking. It is a vote for stopping wars. It is a vote for getting help. You have no idea how important that is.
You're venturing into no man's land at the moment. So I'm running over to Catherine Wilkins.
Hi. Just to comment on the 00 on the phone number. The 00 is for overseas operator. It goes way back to the 40s.
We learn something all the time. Thank you very much, Catherine. I did not know.
I must give you an idiot. So, that's the way it is. Anyway, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Catherine Wilking. I'm an author, a decorator, and a feng shui expert, and I'm helping people balance the energy in their space to lead healthy and productive lives. I live in the Niagara region now, and I service all over North America. So we really need to be aware of our environment these days because the negative influences are just running rampant, and it's time to tame that chaos in our lives. So I help people create good vibrations to do so they can live a prosperous and rewarding lifestyle. So feng shui is more than gold coins and flowers. You can use these influences such as colors and shapes and images and personality profiling to customize the supports that you need in this crazy world. So that's pretty cool. So getting organized, productivity, and be in charge of your space. So it's a big deal. I have a podcast, Feng Shui Your Day, where I interview people just like you, entrepreneurs in business. And while they showcase their business, I present a segue between Feng Shui, their business, and the real world. So that's a lot of fun. And I also teach on Feng Shui Fridays. It's on Zoom. We have a different product each week. And this week's is gift giving and predecessor chi. And that's a pretty cool topic. So more information, you can check the post on LinkedIn or Facebook under Catherine Wilking. I'm trying to keep everything easy for you. My name's on everything. And check out my website, catherinewilking.com. But my wish for you all is to have a Feng Shui day every single day.
And Catherine, where are you located?
The Niagara region in Canada, but I'm available all over North America.
Excellent. And what old people thing are you doing?
Well, I'm eating a lot earlier for dinner. I'm eating at 4 or 5. And, I'm going to go out for those senior specials if I want to.
Well, that's a good idea.
But I'm finding it if I keep working and picking up on all these calls and I'm pushing dinner into 7 o'clock, it gets tired. The kitchen doesn't get cleaned properly. I've got personal calls to make. And you know what? That also allows me to just go to bed at 9 o'clock if I want to. So you know what? I'm okay with that. I got lots of rest and I don't have to rush through my supper. So
excellent. Thank you very much. And Anita,
I'm happy about that.
I'm going to come back to you, Anita, after we go to Jam Jam. So Jam Jam, you are up next. Or are you not ready, Jam Jam? We can do a few more.
Yeah, do a few more because I'm getting something.
Okay, we'll do a few more. That's good. He's getting older now, so it's taking him a little longer to get things done. Anita, you're up.
Hi, my name is Anita Bell. I'm from the Chicagoland area, and I help people save money at the grocery store. Did you know that for the price that you're paying now for groceries has gone up to around $900? The price of groceries has gone up. The other business I have is I'm a pronunciation coach for English as a second language. So I help people speak more clearly and confidently. And then the thing that I do, or I have been doing as an older person, is I wear trifocals now. So
yes, that's game too. That's not a fun day when they tell you that.
No. And I'll be 50 like next month, so I'm a little young for that, though, I think, though. So I can be reached at 630-854-6664. Once again, my phone number is 630-854-6664. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Anita. Selena, welcome. It's your first time with us, and we're so very happy to have you with us. And I know that everybody on the call is going, what does Selena do?
What a warm welcome. Thank you so much, Lynn. So what I do is I work with a cooperative, and we have we have our own digital wallets. So I'm in the digital wallet space. And so to give you an idea of what a digital wallet is, our competitors are PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. And what sets us apart from those others are that they are centralized. And when I'm talking about centralized, if you're unaware, there's something on the House, a bill going on in the House floor regarding the central bank digital currency, that's CBDC. And if you're unaware of what's happening with a CBDC, then you need to become aware, because governments are looking for ways to tell us how to spend our money. And I know that we think that we're in the United States of America, nobody can tell us what to do, but it wouldn't be on the House floor if it wasn't an issue to be concerned about. So if you're unaware of what's happening with the CBDC, I'm going to drop a little link in here from Bloomberg that tells you what the CBDC is. That's not it. Anyway, go to Bloomberg, go to YouTube, go to any place and learn what's happening with the CBDC. It's already taking
over in Europe, and we need to be aware of what's happening and how they're trying to, they, being the government, is trying to determine how we spend our money and even to block our access to our own bank accounts. This is already happening in other places around the world, and there was a global initiative that was put out, and that's what's on the House floor right now. So be aware of what's happening. And if you're interested in a different way to to not allow the government to have access to your money, then please get in touch with me. My information's already in the chat. Selena Billings, like I said, I'm part of a global cooperative, and this is our objective, is to create a solution as well as to help people obtain cash flow. That's all I have. Thanks.
We have a couple of questions, but Selena, I want to ask you where you're from.
I'm from Southern California.
Great. Lastly, I want to ask you, what old lady thing are you doing?
I actually just went to the community center, my local community center, and joined a Tai Chi class. Tai Chi Qigong. That's what I'm doing.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, and I hope you stick with us. Fred McMurray, I know you've had your hand up first.
All I wanted to say is today we have the dial-in number of 323-580-5755 to our listeners, 23580-5755. Next week we should have our new number, and everybody should look in the chat and follow everything that Kelly Kellum put up. That's all.
That's good. And Kelly Kellum has her hand up. Kelly?
Thank you so much, Fred. I appreciate that. I don't want to get into any political discussions, but Selena, I do just want to say we have started to notice that certain donations and other things that we have on deduction from our bank account is being stopped. So just wanted to say that. Don't know what the reason is behind that, but it kind of fits into what Selena and also Fred have been talking about.
That's interesting. I haven't even looked to see if that's happening, so now I will be taking a look.
Me. It doesn't happen with me. Not at all.
No, you haven't had it? Well, just keep looking. Evidently, if it starts, you want to at least be aware to watch, though, Jaya. Watch, because even though it didn't start for you yet, it might. So keep an eye out.
I look at my bank account every day.
Good. Well, you let me know when it starts.
The donations that I'm talking about might be considered politically incorrect. Okay. And those are the ones that have been, they've just removed the ability for us to make those donations.
Wow. Okay. Excellent information for people to at least be aware of. Thank you very much. And Selena, thank you for the great information and helping people be aware of things like this that are happening. So we're going to do a few more, and then I'm going to go back to the oldest guy on the call, Jam. Arlene, you're up next.
I'm going to turn on my speaker. Arlene Morgan. I'm a digital support specialist, providing seamless digital support to enhance the visibility and efficiency of my client's business. This includes branding, logo, graphic design, email newsletter, administrative like Microsoft Office, projects like creating spreadsheets and Word documents and editing and formatting them. I also do Zoom and webinar assistance as well as content updates for website and blog. Essentially, this allows the client to focus on what they do best, grow their business, increase their profit, and support their clients while balancing their lifestyle. So I help the clients to take back their time to work in their business as opposed to on their business. I am in Winchester, Virginia, and I don't have any old person things that I do.
Don't do any of the old people things. Well, then it's coming. Don't worry. It'll be there. Thank you so much, though. We appreciate you, Arlene. Rohan, we're happy to have you back with us. You're up next.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Lynn. Happy to be back here. It's an amazing group of people. And I'll get to it. So hello, everyone. My name is Rohan. I am the founder of Lunar Marketer. Hence, you can see the moon behind me. Of course, no pun intended. I did not practice that joke a million times just to make you laugh, of course. What the heck do I even do? Why am I here? Well, I'm glad you asked. Of course, nobody actually asked. But I am a video advertising agency. So what does that mean? I make videos. Yeah, I mean, that's technically true, but I make sure that you get the ROI on the videos that we make. You see, you can go up to anybody and they'll be like, hey, I want a video. Can you make one for me? Put it on YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is. They're like, sure, we'll make it for you, whatever, right? But then you're wondering, well, sir, how come my video is getting 0 views? And I spent like $500 on the video. Yeah, we don't do that here. You see, I make sure that when you make a video with us, there's actually ROI. People see the video. People actually do business with you through the video. Nobody wants to spend hundreds of dollars on a video that doesn't get you any ROI, right? I figure, right? So there's a variety of ways that we do that through integrated social media techniques, but also very unique thing, drum roll please. Of course, it's not actually a drum roll sound effect, but I can actually put stuff on TV. No, that is not a joke. I am not lying. I am being dead serious. Imagine your brand being on some of the biggest networks in the world, like the NFL, the NBA, ESPN, Fox News, ESPN, CNN. Yes, I am able to now bridge the gap between the high-level businesses and the small local businesses. Do you want your business featured on your favorite TV channel? Maybe even during the holidays when people are doing holiday shopping and you have a holiday deal to showcase? Well, I'd say that I can make that happen for you. So, yeah, this is Rohan, founder of Lunar Marketer, and once again, making videos with the ROI that you deserve. And of course, I have a mini gift for everybody here. So if you want to, you can scan this fancy QR code that I have right over here if you want a annoying but very distracting Zoom background like mine behind me, and it can be tailored to your brand. And if you can't scan the QR code, I will put my information in the chat. And thank you very much.
Rohan, where are you located?
Located in Washington, D.C. as of right now.
Wonderful. And what old people thing are you doing?
There's a few things. First and foremost, waking up early and going to sleep early. And it really helps you get rid of the bags under your eyes, I'll tell you that. That's one thing for sure. Eating lots of fruits and vegetables. You know, the thing that your parents told you to do when you were 5 years old, but you never did, and you end up eating McDonald's in your teenage years, and you're wondering, why do I feel so out of energy? I'm only 20, right? So waking up early, exercising regularly, fruits and vegetables, and lo and behold, you might notice you might not even need to see a doctor if you do that sort of stuff. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Excellent. Good news, Rohan. Rohan, how old are you?
24.
Okay, Jim, you're still the youngest, but you guys are close. You're very
so fun
close.
fact, I actually know Rohan.
Do you really?
Here. Yeah.
Excellent. We got 2 young guys on here. I love it. Tara, I'm going to hold you for a second. Jim, are you ready to go?
Yes.
We're up.
All righty. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Jam, your digital automation and web hosting guy, or your AI guy, as you all know. So let's get straight to the news. Yes, we just got over an election. I'm not going to go all into it, but this is very important because it does impact AI. And obviously, this is a great way for you to actually benefit on what's going on. I would personally say, go invest in NVIDIA because it just became the most valuable company, surpassing Apple.
Whoa.
One person listened to me, and that was Ravonda Moore, and she invested before they did their split. So I will say she's living very happily. In other news, though, with Trump actually taking office, this does actually affect AI, simply for the reason that they're going to be changing the way that they regulate it, which is very important because currently the person that's been helping regulate it is Lena Khan, which is the FTC chair. Now, again, not to go too political, she's done a really great job of keeping a lot of these companies accountable for the way that they have been scamming a lot of you guys. For example, one thing that she was a part of, which was really big, that a lot of these big tech companies were actually hiding the cancel button to their to subscriptions, which we've all known that or whatever. And she actually helped push me to make sure that would actually, where you actually now have to actually present that and make it easy to actually cancel. So that's good to know. Now, hopefully she doesn't get fired, but it is most likely that she will. And this is actually going to have an effect on AI because a lot of the innovations that AI has been doing it's very slow right now. And obviously I'm going to show you guys some videos here because AI is getting kind of spooky for Jam. I've seen a few videos out there where essentially it was like as if like it was just a real life. But luckily, I've taught you guys all how to spot AI, so we're going to get straight to it. For the first video, I'm going to show you guys. This is a woman speaking here, and I just want you guys to just pay attention to the amount of details.
Now you're going to tell me that that's not a real woman.
Yeah, this is not a real woman at all.
That is crazy.
And it's very interesting because obviously a lot of the things that I would tell you guys to go look for, like the hair, the facial features, it's very, very refined. And as obviously you can see, cheekbones. Something I will say actually for this is setting aside the eyes, if you actually look at her mouth moves a lot faster than the actual audio, which obviously I'm not going to play audio, but that is something good to note whenever you actually see a video out there is look at the actual lip movement because that is very important. Now, I want to show you guys this one here, and I want you guys to actually spot exactly what the issue is. This one's very easy, but if the person who
I can see it right now, she has too many fingers.
Exactly. Too many
Look at all
fingers.
the fingers she's got. I know that because if she went to get a manicure, they would say, "I'm sorry, you have too many fingers."
Well, see, I've never gone to get a manicure, which, dear Heavenly Father, bless me with sons, so I never have to deal with makeup or pedicures. Thank you. Amen. Sorry, I just have to throw that out there really quick. But this is actually a really good example of what I mean by how impactful AI is. If you guys look here, this is a fantastic photo. The only thing that throws this photo off is the fingers, obviously, and also part of the hair a bit. But this is a really good reason on why I'm telling you guys that you have to pay attention to
really
AI.
weird, Jam, is look at her fingers, and then look where her fingers meet her hand. That doesn't match up either because it almost looks there like she's got 3, and then all of a sudden 5 fingers come out of her hair.
And then look too long too.
Exactly. Too long fingers. But if I were to take this image and just simply remove the hand there, I could show this to people and they would not be able to spot this as AI.
Right. I wouldn't have known that except the fingers.
And so now that takes me to this next video here, which is very interesting. So they took this image here and then they made it into a video. And so this is, again, very important right now. Obviously, it's very easy to tell this is a AI, right? Very, very easy. But I want you guys to understand that this right here is just the very, very basics. Within 3 months, 5 months from now, this video here will be way more realistic, and you'll be seeing this in the ads.
Why does the hubcaps look like they're going backwards?
I'm telling you, this is what I like to always say. The things that you say AI can't do, it will be able to do, no matter what you say. Because the moment you say, oh, AI can't do this, you're giving them a new goalpost to go and reach. So long before this, and we've all seen this, right, for all those who've come here weekly, at the beginning of this year, I showed you guys all the interesting AI that actually looked like this. This is what a lot of the video AI looked like. Now, the video AI, it's perfect time for the music.
Much better, but there's no driver in that truck either.
Exactly, and there's no driver in this truck. Now, I'm going to stop sharing here really quickly. Again, if you guys are wanting to take advantage of what's going on with obviously a new president, right? I would recommend NVIDIA, right? I'll put it in the chat for you guys so that way you obviously can.
They'll all get wealthy.
But I will leave off with two things. Politicians don't change your life, you do. So always remember that. And then the second thing, I'm obviously a part of the group called Business in a Bundle. I believe Dorcia's in there. We have, I was about to say Kelly. Lynn's in there. Heather's in there. So we have everything you essentially need for your business. I highly recommend you guys join the group. Take a look at the lives that we do because we like to share a lot of insightful information. So that's that. I'm located in Texas. And one old thing I do, I'm not going to lie. I look for coupons and I look for deals when I'm in the grocery store. I'm a coupon guy. I can't lie. I'm like the 80s like mom that like gets coupons out the like newspaper. But hey, it works.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Fred's got his hand up. Fred?
Just to comment on a real-world AI thing that happened to me earlier this week. We got an AI-generated phone call to the business line. And they said, Grandpa, trying to suck me in as if I would believe it. Of course, we implemented years ago a code word for the family that in any type of communications that are unexpected, that word's given. If you don't have something like that with family, I would develop it because as Jam Jam said, in about 5 months, you will not be able to believe anything you see or anything you hear on a computer screen or an electronic device.
It's actually funny you mentioned that because actually there's actually been a lot of AI scams actually going on out there. And last week I showed everybody about a site called True People Search, where any one of you in this room can actually go and search yourself. I don't know if, again, Identity Shield could help with that, with protecting your identity. Well, it can help obviously protect your identity, but getting you removed off of those sites, I wouldn't know about that. You'd have to talk to Lynn. Although I do want everybody to sincerely take what Fred just said very, very seriously, because any one of your guys' voices in here, I could easily take it, clone it, and get you to say whatever you want or whatever I want. And it has happened. It's happened to both political parties, right? So, we can sit here and bicker about which political party is correct, but at the end of the day, we all shop at the same Walmart, okay? So let's stop playing. Anyhow, right? A little joke there I had to throw out there. But please, guys, take this seriously. There's a lot of AI scams going on. If you ever need help, Jam Jam's here. So.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jam Jam. Tara, I'm going to jump to Alicia because she's got some therapy she's got to go to in 20 minutes, and we want to make sure that we get her in. So, Alicia Geary, we're glad that you're back with us, and the next minute is yours.
Audio now unmuted. Open chat middle.
Right.
Alt+H.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. One moment.
1. Caps lock on.
Okay. So, hi, my name is Alicia. I am a freelance copywriter, website designer, and accessibility specialist. My job is to create content that helps you get the sales that you need in your business, design a beautiful online presence, and make sure it's accessible. And actually, I'm not really here for myself today. I am here advocating for change. So currently, me and a bunch of other of my friends with disabilities are experiencing some inaccessibility issues and access issues when it comes to higher education and coursework. So right now, I am actually calling for people to gather and helping me make a difference because McGraw-Hill education software is not accessible, and it is causing some issues when it comes to trying to complete coursework, and the universities can't necessarily do anything about it because they're legally contracted to work with that company. So if you will check the chat, there actually is a link for a petition. The more people that see it and sign it, the better. I highly encourage you to, it's free, and I highly encourage you to help us make a difference if you can.
Castle.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Alicia. And Alicia, where are you located?
I am in Nashville, Tennessee.
Beautiful. And what old people thing are you doing?
Okay, old person thing. I think the biggest old person thing I'm doing right now is probably I frequent the same restaurant almost every day, but not quite every day for lunch. I have been regular at that restaurant for the past 4 months.
With or without coupons?
With or without coupons. Sometimes with, sometimes without.
All right. Thank you so much, Alicia.
All right.
Paula Hayes, you're up next.
Thanks, Lynn. Hi, everybody. I'm Tara. I'm from New Jersey. I'm an author and a publisher. My books are about my experience with anxiety, and the name of my publishing company is called Terrified Publishing, in which I help women in business become published authors. So we do everything to help people bring their nonfiction books to life, cover design, platform publishing assistance, landing page design, and more. So we focus on the creation of ebooks. And I can be reached at Tara Hayes. My email address is TaraHayesBooks@gmail.com. That's Tara Hayes Books. And the old person thing I do is I start getting tired around 8:30, or sometimes I don't know where my cell phone is and it's in my lap and I stand up and it falls on the floor.
And Tara, where are you located?
I'm in New Jersey.
Very, very good. Thank you so very much. Valerie Smith, you're up next.
Well, thank you, Lynn. So I am from Wyoming. My husband and I are from Wyoming, and we currently live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm a former elementary teacher, 26 years. I taught every grade but second, and now my profession is teaching grown-ups other subject matter. So many of you are in health concerns. I am in wealth health. So instructing and inspiring people how to build their wealth. That is not a commonly taught thing in the public school system. There are only 4 states in our country, Virginia being one of them, that requires graduating seniors to pass a class in money management before they can graduate. Financial illiteracy is a pervasive problem in our country. No matter what political affiliation you are with or who you are for or against, financial illiteracy is everywhere. And it is not necessarily people's fault. If they didn't learn how to take care of money in school, and if they didn't learn how to take care of it at home, they are still going along in the same trajectory they always have been. I was one of those statistics. I was a college graduate with a master's degree, and I didn't know the first thing about money management. And luckily, one day after school, there was a gentleman that came to my classroom with a briefcase. Back then, they used briefcases, and he versed me in how to take care of money, and he also taught me the demons of having to pay taxes when you are investing. And so I'm all about teaching people, first of all, how to organize their money, how to harness it, and how to put it in places where Uncle Sam is not going to get such a grip on it. And so I teach about the book, The Power of Zero, written by David McKnight. And he talks about having 3 vessels to put our money and to get ourselves coordinated and shaped down to where we are in the 0% tax bracket. And that is a possible thing to do. Anyone who makes money and spends money is in our target market. So we are not exclusively focusing on young people or on old people or certain demographics. We help individuals, we help families, we help businesses, we help couples, anyone who needs to be helped. And I am one of those statistics who was on the receiving end of somebody coming to me. I had no idea I needed help. I had money and I was spending it. And he taught me the value of not spending it. and saving it and strategizing it. And so it does my heart so well when I'm able to help people, help a person literally change the course of their life just by making a few minor adjustments and without having to spend any more money than they're currently spending. It is a game changer. So please look for me on Facebook or LinkedIn or World Financial Group, and I would love to help you to learn some things, or if you know anybody who could use this support and assistance and knowledge and tools, I can help.
Thank you. And Valerie, where are you located?
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Oh, I know you did say that too, because she said she's from Wyoming. I remember that part. And what old people thing are you doing?
Knitting.
Excellent. Thank you so very much, Valerie. Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Jeff Johnson, we're happy to have you with us again.
Well, happy to be here too. So I'm Jeff Johnson. I'm from the Baltimore area. See the Raven shirts we're on tonight. Hopefully winning again. So, but I help businesses improve their cash flow. I'm a consultant, a cash flow repairman. Everybody wants to get paid for what they do. They know what they do very well, but they may not know all the different ways they can get paid, all the different software, hardware, technology out there to improve their capabilities and improve their savings. There's a lot of easy ways to set up payments. You can go to Square, you can go to Stripe, you can go to all these PayPal, but the convenience should not be as expensive as they are. There are much better ways to get that done, and I can help consult and walk people through it and improve every day their cash flow. There are new programs out there for cash discounting. Everybody's walked into a business and been told, hey, you're going to pay 3% or 4% more. These businesses have to be careful. If it is not done right, the credit card police, Visa, will actually come out. They have secret shoppers out there. And if they find somebody who is doing it incorrectly by not showing dual pricing and not showing an actual discount as opposed to a penalty fee, they will be fined $1,000 to start, $5,000 to follow up behind it per transaction. So a business can wrap up $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 in fines quickly. And if Visa gets enough complaints, they will say you can no longer take Visa. And there are not many businesses out there that can exist without taking Visa. So these are all things that I help businesses navigate through. I'm an advocate for my clients. My retention rate's about 92%. And I work basically by referral and through good forums like this, finding referral partners. Because if you know someone that could use my help and you send them to me, I will share the revenue, 20% residual every month for the lifetime of the account. I have people sending me referrals, earning tens of thousands of dollars just for introducing me to business owners. Jeff Johnson, let me know how I can help your business owner friends.
Jeff, I happened to glance at the chat and I see that Selena would like to connect with you. And I have not been monitoring the chat, guys, because I don't pay attention to it normally much. Nick was on here. Had anybody seen anything about Nick, about why he had to leave? Because Nick is someone, Jeff, that I was going to make that introduction to you. But I will make the introduction anyway, so he must have left for a good reason. So I'll make sure I do that for you.
Sounds good. And the old person thing that I do, it's starting to get a little colder up here in the mid-Atlantic region, so it's probably about time for me to break out those corduroy pants and make that noise walking up and down the aisles of the supermarket.
I love it. Thank you, Jeff. Victor, before I come to you, I'm going to tell everyone a little bit about Legal Shield and ID Shield, which is what I do, guys. And I always try to give you guys an example of how someone's used it. And I did have someone that sent this to me, and I wanted to share it with you. I had a client who took some jewelry to the jeweler to be cleaned. The jeweler ruined one of their rings. They did request that the jeweler fix it at no cost to them. The jeweler refused, and then he threatened that if they didn't leave, he was going to call the police. Well, they, of course, said, I'm going to call my lawyer. And the jeweler then said, well, I'm not going to talk to your lawyer. So he called Legal Shield when he got out of there, and the Legal Shield, they gave him a female attorney. That's very important, because when you screw up some jewelry, you definitely want a female attorney. She understands how important jewelry is. Female attorney said, I'm not going to have any problem getting in touch with him. I'm not worried about him saying he won't take my call. He will. And he did take her call. And later that afternoon, the lawyer called the client back and said, go to the jewelry store and pick up a check for $2,500 to repair the ring. So again, you want a female attorney when it's a jewelry issue. They understand how serious that is. But how nice is that for the small monthly fee that they pay to get some action like that taken care of? And that aggravation is not on their back anymore. So that was my story for you guys today. I'm going to go back to some more of my introduction. So let's go to Victor Lopez. Victor. Oh, my old lady sings just like somebody else said. Go to bed early. I go to bed early, get up early. Last night, I still haven't fixed my clock. My one clock is too tall. I can't reach it until my son comes over and does it for me. So I thought I was going to bed at 8:30. I went to bed at 7:30. That means at 2:30 this morning, I was ready to get up, and I said, oh, what am I doing? Some people are just going to bed, and I'm up. Victor, you're up.
Thank you, Lynn. Victor Lopez. I'm out of Fishkill, New York. I'm in the real estate field. My area is tax liens and tax deeds. The way it works is when somebody doesn't pay their taxes, the county has a lien over that property. I buy those liens from the county, and how I get paid is when they get redeemed, I collect interest and penalties. My info is in the chat. Thank you for having me, Lynn.
So, Victor, what old people thing are you doing?
My doctor told me to play less bingo and have more sex.
Oh, okay. Well, we haven't had that answer yet today. I love it. Jan, you are up. It's so nice to have you back with us. We missed you.
Hi, Lynn. It's good to be back. Hi, everybody. Thursday has turned out to be much busier than what I thought they were going to be. So, excuse me. I'm Jan Talon, and I am enjoying the work of helping marriages and families move from being crazy busy, crazy emotionally, crazy relationally, to a space of calm. And I do that by helping marriages, couples figure out how to talk together, connect with each other, and work together while they parent, so that they have the same language and the same approach with their kids. But then we don't just do just parenting, because if you aren't married well, your kiddos aren't going to behave well. So we have to take care of your marriage as well and make sure that you know how to really connect with each other, so that the care you have in your heart translates into action that your spouse resonates with. And that keeps the two of you calm and connected, which translates into your kiddos becoming more cooperative, more kind, and just more interactive is the way that I want to say that. They don't want to go and hide behind their screens as much. They don't argue with you as much. And they don't want to just, I sort of want to say, stay away from you. Because they know that you are safe and that both parent is safe. So they can be honest, and they can gain their growth of knowledge of themselves and how to use their language to talk about what's going on and build the coping skills that they need. Schools have lots of pressures, and our kids aren't starting at kindergarten. Now, we're starting them in daycare at 2 and 3 or even younger. Those are lots of social pressures that they have to learn very, very quickly. And we don't really have ways to teach them how to communicate that and how to manage that, except for parents really being in tune with their kiddos. So that's really my passion, is taking care of those marriages with young kiddos. What we know here, I didn't put them away. Hold on, watch. I'm coming back. Lynn, I don't have a timer up, so you're going to have to tell me when I'm running out of time.
Okay, no, that's all right.
So watch. This is I'm going on a hot date hat. See, it looks good, doesn't it? Okay, and this is the hat I put on. I'm going to wear it December 4 when I go on my hot date. Okay? Yeah, always wear your marriage hat first. But you don't take it off when you got to become a parent. You put your parent hat on, and you wear them both at the same time. Does it look wonky? Sometimes it does. But it lets my parent brain talk to my parent brain talk to my marriage brain back and forth so that we're now in sync together with one another. So that's really what we're after. Why is this important that we know how to wear both? Because if I wear my marriage hat and my husband puts on the parent hat, we now are in the same house, but we're doing two different lines. We're walking two different roads. We may be parallel, but we're not on the same path. And within 5 years of parenting, the seeds for divorce start to move in. Disgust, dismay, discouragement, sort of distraction, depression, disengagement, all of those Ds, they don't pop up like the fastest growing weed in the world. They are sort of the seeds are laid, and bit by bit they grow. They're sinister. And by the time you're married 15 or 20 years, you look at each other and say, I don't like your hat. I don't like your hat. And we're in different places. It's really hard to repair. We can take care of this now by making sure that you're together. So all that chatter, because I offer coaching. I offer a fabulous course. I've been a marriage and family therapist for 35 years. And so I took all that I knew together and put it into this passion, strong videos for personal growth and communication growth. And in that, in those things, we also add coaching to that so that that is a comprehensive program. Workbooks, learn, explore, and practice sheets. But if you don't have time for that, you can buy the short videos. And if you don't have time for that, you can look at the link in the chat there, because I just finished 6 videos with the Amazing Family Network. And those 6 videos, same thing, are available for $29. Easy.
Beautiful.
Watch
and where are you
whenever
located, Jen?
I'm located outside of Grand Rapids, Michigan, on a pretty inland lake in Michigan. It's gorgeous here today.
Beautiful. And what old people thing are you doing?
Wait, I wrote it down. I lie about my age.
Well, that's a good one. Okay.
I'm 32 and my grandchildren
doing that right now.
Oh, I'm lying all the time. Yeah. I say I'm 32 and my grandchildren can't figure out how their mom can be 40. I don't know. I don't know how that happened, but that's how it is.
I love it. Thank you very much, Jan. Kelly, you're up.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thanks, Lynn. 60% of families with college students overpay for college. More than 50% that are paying way too much for college. My clients do not pay full price for college, much less pay too much. And I'm Kelly Kellum. I'm a college admissions strategist. People are calling me the college lady now. And I work with families of college-bound students who are overwhelmed or are confused by the college process and the funding process. I walk their students through getting into the right fit college with less stress for less money, and that way the whole family can enjoy the college journey. I am also the co-host of a show on Cape Red Radio. My co-host Liz Lewine and I are on, and I just forgot the name of it. Isn't that wonderful? Beyond the Books, Teen Success Secrets. And we air usually on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Pacific. I think the reason I forgot that name was that I wanted to tell everybody that Liz, myself, and Chris Pratt, who is also a member of this group, are going to be on Jim Boswell's Vision in Action. We're part of an education panel, and that, of course, is also here on Cape Red Radio. So, Lynn, thank you so much. Oh, families, you can reach me by texting college to 847-997-1449. That's 847-997-1449. I'm happy to answer questions. I do have a complimentary session with everybody. And my old person thing is that I am still, I guess it's not so much old person as old school. I still like to write everything down, and I have a paper planner.
Excellent. And you want to tell them where you're from?
Oh, I'm from the Chicagoland area, although I can work not only nationwide, but I do work with some international families as well.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Mark Bartosik, are you there? There he is. You're up.
Thank you, everybody. I always love going after Kelly because it just reminds me of all the numbers to mention. But I'll start with the old people thing. As far as I would say is being retired. But I also will copy with Jam Jams if I do the coupon clipping as well. Hopefully this is working. All right. Everybody hear me? Everybody see me? I know my internet goes in and out sometimes.
Yep, no, I can hear you.
Okay. So I work with Ambit Energy. Statistically, 82% of people struggle living paycheck to paycheck. And I used to sit there and tell people I can help you with save money or I can help you make money, but I'm pushing more into the fact of realizing the preciousness of time. So I work with you guys to help you get your time back, because figure the algebraic equation where it was, A times B equals B times A. I know nobody likes math, but instead of working 50 or 60 hours a week at $15 or $20 an hour, what about working 15 or 20 hours a week at $50 or $60 dollars an hour? This is what I help people do by working with a company, referring a service, not a product, and just simply helping people to save money on a habitually used or habitually paid for, unconsciously used utility, which everywhere I go, we got electricity and natural gas. So whether you know someone who feels that they're paying too much for their electric bills or gas bill, which I don't know the percentages on it, but usually everybody I come across is, because they don't really know what they're truly paying, because we just pay the bill every single month and don't think about it. Reach out to me at 773-370-2748. I'll put the rest of my contact information in the chat. But it comes down to know what's on your bill, know how much you're truly paying and whether you're overpaying or not, and the savings that you can get or even the income opportunity that you can get, because every time you pay your electric and gas bill, someone's getting paid, so might as well let that person be you. And to end on a quote, I'm actually going to leave it in the chat because it's a longer quote, and I heard it from a gentleman on Shark Tank, so I'll post that in there for the people that are in the Zoom.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Mark. Joe Hulk, you're up next.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you back.
I'm happy to be here. Life is getting busy. I always try to be here and will be here for as long as I can. So I'm sorry that I'm late. My name is Joel Holt. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My company, Empowering Solutions, we do a lot of things. We're involved in multiple areas. Right now, open enrollment for all of us that need to buy for healthcare. I'm really focusing on helping individuals and businesses save anywhere between 30, 50, up to 70% on their traditional healthcare costs. So this is definitely a good time to take a look to make sure that you're getting the right service and the right price for that.
Beautiful. And can you tell us what old people thing are you doing these days?
Everything that they do is old.
Okay, we're going to take that as
I just celebrated my birthday yesterday, so I'm a little bit feeling
happy
old.
Birthday.
Thank you. So everything that they do is old, and if you ask my kids, they will agree with you.
That's funny. Rob Holman, you are up next. And Rob is going to be a speaker today. So, Rob, you are up. Let's see that finger, Rob. Or let's see the missing finger.
I don't have it.
Oh, Lord.
It's gone.
You want to share with those people on the call who do not know what happened to you?
Sure. All right. Well, this will be a really great demonstration on how important firearm safety actually is. So the hurricane came through Tampa, and we lost power in my community. The gated community, the gates were wide open, and my security system, which runs on power, was down. So I made it a point to go out to my car to grab my weapons that were in my vehicle to put them into the bedroom for protection. Upon reaching down below, underneath the seat where the holster was for one weapon, my wife's Glock, which was placed there because she was getting an oil change, so we transposed and put it underneath there. I pulled it out and came across to my right with my right hand. I had my left hand on the steering wheel, and the firearm discharged. It hit the steering wheel and a portion of my left middle finger and went into the door. It did not exit the door, but it left a nice little dent on the outside. So immediately after the discharge, I wasn't in any pain, but I was extremely angry I've been handling weaponry since I was 8 years old. I'm 56 now, and I was extremely angry. There was no power. My wife was in bed. This was late at night, and so I went to wake her, and I said, honey, you got to drive me to the hospital. I just blew off my finger. She goes, yeah, right, whatever. Well, just then, the generator, which runs on propane, just went down, so I had to change the propane tank. My wife gets the lamp, and she turns it on, and all of a sudden saw the trail of blood going from the garage through the kitchen, through the living room, and into our bedroom, all over the floor. And she just lost it. And she's like, oh, my God, are we going to get you to the hospital? I'm like, I've been trying to tell you that. But apparently lights do matter when taking me seriously. So anyways, we went to the closest urgent care. And because Pasco County, all the power was down, there was no trauma center that was available for me. So I had to get into an ambulance and be taken down to Tampa General Hospital, where I was basically, I didn't have any pain medication for 9 hours. I wasn't in pain because the nerves were completely obliterated on my middle finger. And so it was 10 a.m. Friday morning that I went in for surgery. 12 p.m. I was discharged. No pain whatsoever, but thank goodness my daughter-in-law cleaned out the entire contents of my Durango, which was just, they said that there was about an inch full of blood in the front seat of my car. I had lost a lot of blood, but apparently they were like, you'll be okay. And I didn't get any more blood. My daughter cleaned up the entire house, so thankfully, because of my family, we got home and there was nothing that had to be cleaned up. I basically slept for about 12 hours straight after that. Now, my birthday was October 24th, and immediately the badgering started in on me because my grandson, who's 6, said, Pa, now you're only going to be able to count to 19 instead of 20. And I thought that was pretty observant of him. But then for my birthday, my grandchildren got me a picture of a left hand with no middle finger, and underneath it, it says rock on, and it's on the front and the back of the T-shirt. My daughter, our daughter-in-law, took the .40 caliber round that was laying in my car and drilled through it and attached it to a keychain with a big middle finger attached to it. And my son now calls me Quattro. So, I mean, I praise God that at least, thankfully it was only my middle finger. And I'm really not, probably the only thing I can't do is do a double bird. You know what I mean? Everything else I can do. And thankfully it was the middle finger, because I got fingers on both sides of it that, I've got no problem with grasping and doing anything. And I'm not in any pain, and I'm almost completely healed. You can see that it's coming along just fine. But if I ever need a reminder about gun safety, all I have to do is look down at my hand. So, it's unfortunate that it occurred.
A good attitude about it. We're very grateful that you're okay. But
I'm thankful it wasn't my hand that got that round, because it would have. I showed you the pictures, didn't I?
No, and I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them on the girl. Girls don't want to see it.
The front part of my hand looked like normal, like it looked like there was like an indentation but the back of my hand looked like a pomegranate was opened up, and it was just, completely, it was.
Rob, you're scaring the woman away.
Rob, why don't you give them your little spiel about today, and then I'm going to put everybody into a private room where they can talk to people one-on-one.
Okay. Well, hey, listen, my name is Rob Homan. I'm with the RNC Financial, and I'm better known as your health and wealth bodyguard. Now, granted, there's no violence involved with that moniker, but why would you need a bodyguard? Well, for protection. So when it comes to your health, I show you how to navigate through your insurance policy, making sure you're not being overcharged, using your insurance correctly to prevent yourself from being susceptible to being overcharged, and then also to battle on your behalf in case you do get overcharged. But when it comes to your wealth, I try to educate you on some of the different aspects of money. Now, people fail to realize that, I wish they would have taught us all this stuff. This should be something they teach you when you're in high school, because if I had learned all the things that I know now, my life would be completely different, because, when you retire, tax-free income is a heck of a lot more attractive than taxable income, when we all agree. And there's vehicles that you can use in order to create that tax-free income, one of which is an index universal life insurance policy, and also index annuity or a Roth IRA. And those are tax-free disbursement vehicles. And the fact that it's indexing means that it does invest into indices in the market, so you can make your money grow and create compounding interest. So it is a vehicle that does not, when it's indexed, you go with the gains of the market. However, you're protected on the losses. When the markets go down in the negative, you stay at zero. So that is a very cost-effective method of protecting yourself from losses. Now, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of people who have IRAs that, when you disperse on an IRA, now that income is taxable, but, who knows what taxes are going to be? Are they typically going up? Are they going down? Or, spin the wheel. We really don't know. But really, the first and foremost, the thing that you really need to determine when taking a bite out of the investment strategy is your financial needs analysis. And this isn't so I can pry in and find out all the amount of money you're paying for your nails and your hair and all this other things. What it is to do is to determine, what are you spending your money on? Can you limit some of those things that you're spending money on and put them into a situation that are going to offer you financial protection? And it isn't me that decides. Ultimately, if they're your goals, you're the policyholder, you're going to determine what it is that you want to do. Do you want to have lots of tax-free income when you retire? Or are you just like, I'm just going to live with my kids and I'm not going to do anything? Have you checked with your kids lately? So, ultimately, think of it as an embracing, doing a financial needs analysis and actually really discovering how much money you are actually spending per month on Starbucks, if you made your own coffee and took that money, I mean, that could, in many cases, that's $200 you could be putting into some sort of index strategy per month. And then by allowing that income to compound interest as well. And then there's also many different aspects of the life insurance as opposed to the annuity. Now, annuities will give you a death benefit from the money that's in the annuity. However, there are living benefits in index universal life. God forbid, diagnosed with critical illness, critical injury, burns, comas, and God forbid, chronic illness. So these living benefits can also be something, so it's a life insurance policy that you can get performance without actually passing away. So before you pass away, you can't take it with you. So if you can go, and enjoy your life, the remaining years, if you've got 24 months to live, there is a terminal illness benefit into that as well. And, I mean, heck, if you want to go to Vegas and bet on black, you're entitled to do so.
Beautiful. You want to tell them where you're from?
I'm originally from Chicago. I moved from Aurora to Tampa, Florida in '99 and haven't shoveled snow since. And I met my wife who moved from Naperville in 1997. And she's, we're celebrating our 23-year anniversary of marriage on November 23rd. I had to come to Tampa to meet my Chicago broad, and we met on October 13th, Friday the 13th, full moon 2000. And, got married 13 months later. And the next Friday the 13th, full moon, will be on my wife's 92nd birthday. But I'll only be 80 because I tell everybody I married my babysitter.
So what old people thing do you do?
Well, I'm noticing that I have to do a lot more stretching in order to get started in the mornings. And a regimen of stretching that, regarding my hips and things of that nature. It's amazing what 4 years of college football will do to a body when you turn 56.
Excellent. We're going to do Mark Anthony, and then we're going to get everybody into a private room. So, Mark Anthony, you are up next.
Oh, boy. All right. What's the question of the day?
It is, what old people thing are you doing?
And old people wear a lot of Speedos, by the way.
Oh, no. I watch a lot of Andy Griffith.
Okay.
And Murder, She Wrote, and Matlock.
That's correct. I'm going to see. Sorry, I just logged in here. Let me see if I have a tech tip ready for y'all. Yeah, I got one. Okay. So Mark Anthony Arena here. I am the host of the Computer Exorcist podcast. I'm also the co-host of the Flyover Plates podcast. A buddy of mine flew to the flyover states and settled there, but he misses Rochester food, which is the garbage plate, as I've discussed in the past. So we have a show where we critique Rochester food and crime and talk about all the many, many ways that New York State is falling to pieces. And memorialize all of the many, many businesses that go out of business every month. So that's kind of fun. It's a different side of me. So let's see, what kind of tip can I give you? Everyone who calls up always says, I'm not a techie. I go to a few websites once in a while, but my computer never works right. 99% of this planet wants a computer that lets them get online and leaves them alone. They want something minimalist and safe that just blocks all the stupidity so they can do what they need to do, even if it's just go to a couple websites, right? If you just go to work and go to church and nothing else, you still deserve a car that's reliable, right? People just want a machine that gets online and leaves them alone. Unfortunately, new PCs are increasingly overloaded with, why does this keep popping up? With stupidity. With bloatware and pop-ups and changes and changes and changes. Any of you who are victims of Windows 11 know that every 12 days, the whole shebang changes and scrambles itself like scrambled eggs. You just can't get anything done. And there is absolutely no reason for this. I spent zillions of years being angry about this until I realized, oh, wow, people actually want this, and it's an opportunity for me to come in and say, hey, look, that's okay. somehow some people survive with Windows, but I've got some a lot better. I am privy to a lot of new technologies that a lot of computer dudes don't have the social skills to explain to the world, right? They've got a great idea. Think Steve Wozniak, right? He had an incredible idea, but he kept it to himself. It was just something he did to scratch his own itch until Steve Jobs walked in and said, "What is this? Are you kidding me? People want this." At the time, that was the easiest computer in the world, and he said, "Wow, this is easy." So one of the technologies I'm privy to is something called Mint. I might have referred to it and mentioned it in the past. It's an operating system made by volunteers who hate Microsoft and Apple, and it's virtually bulletproof from all threats. It's minimalist, it's invincible, it leaves you alone, there's no learning curve, it looks just like Windows 7. You'll never notice the difference, except it says welcome to Mint instead of Windows 7. It's modern, it's foolproof, it just works, and you can take a 10-year-old computer and put Mint on it and give it another 5-10 years of life. That's what I did. I'm running a 2012 MacBook Pro right now. I've got a brand new copy of Mint and a super fast hard drive. I can't believe I had to say this in the 2020s, but its other benefit is it doesn't spy on you and it doesn't have a kill date when it destroys itself like the new machines do. Check for old laptops in your closet. Anything about 10 years old or newer is totally compatible. I wouldn't use Mint for your daily driver, especially if you still are working and you need the advanced deep features of Microsoft Excel or something. But it does come with LibreOffice, which is perfect for 99% of normal consumers. It's perfect for a travel machine. It's perfect for a secondary machine. I have been using it as my primary machine since 2011. Any questions?
That is good, Mark Anthony. You want to tell them where you're from?
Near Niagara Falls. It's a giant nursing home called Rochester, New York. It's falling to pieces before my very eyes.
Beautiful. All right, guys, I'm going to get you all into a private room real quick. The rooms are all open. You guys can all go.
And away they go.
And away they go. Let me get this timer on so I can make sure that they're in there for 5 minutes.
Mine didn't go.
Didn't go? Let me see. Why did you not go? So let me see if I can get a room for you. Move to room 1. Oh, okay. So let's get you down here to room 3. Okay, I'm going to move you to room 3.
Okay, got it.
Gotcha.
Actually, I moved her to room 7.
What did you do? We were in room 7. Why?
Because Joel Hoke was in there alone.
Really?
Uh-huh.
What the heck just happened? I watched these people move around. Rob Holman has got to move down. Okay, so tell me about K. Fred and what's going on with K. Fred.
So while everybody was grinding on about the election returns Tuesday night, we did a bunch of upgrades, system upgrades. So we've improved our basically back end, worked on improving the calendar as well as the podcast feeds, and we finally got our base domain from the old linklocalnetwork.com to kfred.com. They both go to the same places, but now when you go to kfred.com, it says kfred.com and not linklocalnetwork.com, which is allowing us to do other additions on. So this past week, while everybody else was fighting with the election, we've been fighting with technology. Yay. We've been winning. We had hoped to have our new phone number today, but we have some glitches, so that will kick off on next week's Lunch with Lynn. And if I got the number down right, I lost it. It ultimately will be 724-9kphred.com. So 7249-KFred will be our phone number starting next week. Woohoo! Got new episodes of True Grit with Denise Lanton and more episodes of Healthy Living, Happy Life with Denise DeGaulle. So yesterday was a double Denise day. There's a great upcoming episode of Pillars Principles where Ray, Jim, and I actually interview Meg Roberts. You may remember Meg Roberts when she was either profiled as one of the 40 under 40 or undercover boss. Those days she was CEO of Molly Maid Corp, and these days she's CEO of Lash Lounge. And she had some awesome stuff to say about developing hiring, developing, and managing employees. And that episode will go live next week. And then a great shout out to our own quad father, Brian Swift, because he had yours truly on his radio show in Mokina yesterday. And in another radio, so I got on. I made it onto a show. And then the other thing is that Chris Pratt's Healing Conspiracy has now started to play on KAPY 104.9 FM in Seattle. So literally, our K-Fred show hosts are getting on to FM radio in places. Keep looking for us on the various radio apps. And we're working on getting a page up of all the places you can listen to K-Fred.
That's excellent. They're all going to be on their way back now, Fred. So I'm going to get them ready to throw them into another room.
We've actually are in process of, it won't be till next year, but the co-host of our C3PO, Barbara Wainwright, and that stands for Podcast Publishing and oh my God, I forgot the other programs. She helps develop once Lynn signs them. She helps develop them. She also publishes books and co-hosts 3 podcasts. But we've agreed that next year, after we've gotten 1 year of the station up and running, we're going to start developing a book called How to Build a Radio Station in the Digital Age, Adventures in K-Fred Land.
Great.
And that's next year.
Everybody have a good conversation?
Yeah, you took Rob from me. I was going to tell him more about my Brazil trip.
Well,
it's
fast in and fast out. All right, guys, I'm going to throw you guys all in another room again. Is everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go for it. The rooms are all open.
So just a quick mention, as I told Brian Swift yesterday, asked me about, are we accepting new show hosts? And we are. There is a button on the front page of kfred.com that you can fill out the form to start the process of becoming a show host. And we have kept the price. Rather than upping the price, we've decided to give all of our new potential show hosts an early Christmas present, and we're going to keep the price at the $149.95 a month until the end of December for those who sign up. So we're going to, as a way of, I don't know, giving people, making it easy for people.
Give them a chance to get a shot at life.
Exactly. And to me, this past Tuesday proved one thing. And with all of the responses from everybody, many of them in what I'll say was belief, this just goes to prove something that we're fighting at K-Fred, is that 90% of all media is owned by 6 companies. 90% of all media is owned by 6 companies.
Media is having a real problem right now. So those media that are monopolizing the stations are not letting people be heard.
Exactly.
You're giving a lot of people an opportunity to be heard.
And that's our goal, is to make sure that people, all the people on Lunch with Lynn. We have quite a few show hosts there. I talk to people all the time, and it's like they're tuning out of the news, they're turning off the radio, and yet there's a lot of wonderful folks out there with a lot of great information that the more I hear, the more I'm like, well, I could use this.
Because they're not learning something from mainstream radio right now.
Exactly. So, folks, tell people about K-Fred. Tell them that we're the finger that Mark Partosik doesn't have anymore to the mainstream media.
Mark Partosik lost his finger. We're in trouble. But Rob Holman.
Sorry, Rob Holman. I forgot. So, yeah.
Maybe Mark Partosik found it. I think you know it, unless if you're listening to a bunch of mindless chatter where you're not going to learn anything, it's a waste of your time. You might as well be tuned into something where you are going to take away some knowledge.
The other thing I'll mention is that I like to listen to the radio in the car. And by sometime next year, K-Fred will be able to be heard on Android Auto and Apple Auto, so you'll be able to listen. But when I do listen to it, I'm amazed at just how many say, we're a Cumulus radio station, or we're a blah, blah, blah radio station. And it never surprises me because it's all homogenous. It's all the same garbage. And it just, more and more, it just makes me tune out to the media.
I don't know why, Fred. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, but I don't listen to any music radio when I'm in my car anymore. I just don't. I listen to all talk radio. That's it.
So I flip between the two because usually some of the talk, and I've been listening to the radio since, I don't know, for probably close to 60 years. And so much of it has just gotten incredibly stupid that it's like, okay, please just give me some good headbanging rock and roll that one of the reasons we are working so diligently on getting dial-in phone numbers is we want to be able for listeners to call in and engage.
Yeah, be able to interact with it.
To me, and as we've been focused on bringing the station up, getting it working correctly, the new calendaring system, which we're working on, people will be able to get calendar reminders from the station, something that, as far as I can tell, no radio station has. But so we've been working on that, working on shows. Ultimately, though, we want to build more and more of that spontaneity, that interactivity between the station, the show host, and the listeners. So if you got an idea of how we can be more interactive, go to KP. Internet community radio station. I learned that we were neurospicy at the last K-Fred Prime Live. And then one quick message. The next K-Fred Prime Live is on November 16th in honor of Veterans Day, which is November 11th. We're going to have all of our guests will be veterans. And the topic of the show, which I'm letting out ahead of time, is, and this is what we're going to ask all our veterans who are guests, why should somebody join the military today?
Everybody have a good conversation?
That's a very, we did have an amazing conversation.
Excellent. Somebody here just tell me one good thing you learned while you were in that room.
It's good to have 10 fingers.
Oh, Lord.
That's a good point.
Anything else you guys learned?
Yes, tax liens. Get your tax liens today and save up and put it in your 401k so you'll have money
in the
Well,
future.
pretend he's sticking his finger in his nose and it looks disgusting.
Oh, no.
It's good to be busy in the business and not on the business.
So I'm going to share a little story with you guys about an old people thing that happened to me. When I was still in Illinois and I was out doing employee presentations with employees, I had to go to a northern suburb, and I went with another woman that was offering health care. And so we had a little cart with us. We had all kinds of sandwiches and cookies and drinks and everything we were taking for all the employees while we did our presentation. And when we came to this big, beautiful building, it looked like the White House in the front, but actually that same facade was on all four sides of the building. So they had these big columns and a couple stairs to go up into it at every corner. So we weren't really sure where the front of the building was. But we went in where we thought it was the front of the building, and we knew we had to go to the second floor. So we went in, got in the elevator with all of our stuff, pushed the button for the second floor, and we stood there, and she said, and I noticed there was an office across from the elevator. People were looking at us kind of strange, probably because we had so much stuff. And then my friend says to me, "It doesn't feel like we're moving." I said, "No, I think this is a new building. I think it's a very smooth elevator. Don't worry, we'll be there." So pretty soon the door opened, and we got out, and there was a man standing right outside the door, and he said, "Can I help you, ladies?" I said, "Well, this is what a wonderful building. Somebody's going to greet us at the elevator and help us." So I gave him platters of cookies and sandwiches to carry and told him where we were going. And we got out, and he took us to the office that we were going to, and we did everything in the office. Came back, got in the elevator, and you know how you mentally kind of know when you got in the elevator, when I get out on the first floor, I know where the front door of the building is going to be. So we went to the first floor, and the door opened, and I looked, and there was a wall where the front door should be. And I said, "How'd that wall get there? Like, that wall wasn't there when we came in." And then I looked the other direction, and I saw a cafeteria, and I thought, did we go to the basement? Maybe we went to the basement. So I get back in the elevator, and I looked, we're on the first floor, so I pushed the second floor so I could go find out what went wrong. And the door opened up. Now I realized that we were always on the second floor. I don't know how they numbered these floors, but when we came into the building, we were already on the second floor. So when we went in the elevator, we went nowhere, and the door opened even though we thought we arrived somewhere. That's why they were trying to help us, because they could see we were stupid. We didn't know what we were doing. And then we got out, did our stuff. So what a mess. So I said, from now on, let's make sure what floor we're on when we get in the elevator so we don't go nowhere. Oh, Lord, how embarrassing. How embarrassing.
Lynn, it sounds like Willy Wonka's thing.
Why? Did he do that?
In the movie with Gene Wilder, he goes into a door, and then they turn around and go back out the door that they came in, and everybody's like, "We came in that way." It's like, "You sure?" "I'm pretty sure not." And he opens it, and it leads to a whole different room because, magic stuff. But it's like,
oh, Lord. So anybody else have any stories of old people things that have happened to them?
I one time had my glasses on, and then I was trying to look for my glasses while I had my glasses on.
Now you got to tell a glasses story. I actually had glasses on, sunglasses on, and I kept thinking, these are the strangest sunglasses. It looks really dark on one side, and it doesn't look quite as dark on the other side. So I got in the car to go somewhere, and the people said to me, "What's the matter with your glasses?" I said, "I don't know. They're not working really well, I don't think." And they started laughing, and I took the glasses off and looked at them. One of my sunglass lenses had popped out, and I'm walking around with only one sunglass lens in. I said, "Oh my God, I had to look like a real moron here walking around like that."
That's fun. If anybody has a LLC, this is actually, I'm gonna put this link in the chat. There's like a beneficial ownership information report that you have to go file by December. Very, very good to know, because Uncle Sam is most definitely making sure you follow that. It's important, essentially. No, it's not something new because it's something that companies have had to do beforehand. It's just now that everybody has to do it. So I put the link there. It is good to keep that taken care of.
It was a surprise attack that the government just assumed everyone knew about it. I didn't know about it until my accountant told me, and it's extremely mysterious. The website is terrifying.
Yeah, the website is extremely terrifying because when you get on there, it's literally the very top thing at the top of the page is Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, which is a very scary thing you don't want to look at or whatever. It's funny, but yeah, it was almost like a genuine surprise attack. I learned about this actually earlier this year, but this is something, if you do own like a LLC or whatever, do fill that out because, I think fines.
What about people that aren't aware of this? I mean, you guys both sound like you guys were surprised by it a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. When I found out back in like March or whatever, I was like, oh, this is interesting. I probably should get this taken care of. Luckily, you can go on there. You can file it for free. Be careful because there's a lot of people. Same thing with the PPP loan. Same thing with the whole like tax credit thing that everybody was like, doing. They're like, oh, get like, if you had a business during 2020 and 2021, get all this tax credit. But careful because there's a lot of people also doing the exact same thing with this, where they're charging people basically to file this when you can go and file it free.
Very interesting. Thank you for sharing that information, Jim.
Yeah, that's a very important thing. Yeah, it's literally free. You can go, you can file it online and then be done. I guess as of late, the government's finally fixed a lot of their sugar honey iced tea websites. I'll put it that way. Because most of their sites have been absolute dog water. I mean, I remember getting onto like the IRS's website and it loaded like a 2002 website, which, I wasn't even alive at that time, right? Because that was the year I was born or whatever. I was still in the womb, but Jesus, man, these sites it's about time they got to update. I'm serious. And guess what? You can file it online. That was what's really, really like surprising to me is that you could file it online. The government actually did one thing right. Like,
how do you know it's secure when you're doing this? Their sites are always getting hacked all the time.
Well, that's just a trick of the trade right there. That's the lovely little hopeful part. And also, even if like you filed it online and let's say some security issue did happen, well, good thing you have Legal Shield because, well, that's on them, not you. So,
true.
And also, they also have IP logs every time a person gets on the website. Most websites actually have that. My website has it. So like the moment you get on my site, I immediately know like what location you're coming from. So
Joel, what have you been up to lately? Joel, do you know that you're working with a lot of non-for-profits for different things? Do you work with people who do fundraising for non-for-profits?
Not really. I work directly with charities directly. So when they are actually working with other people that help them to raise money, usually we're not in connections.
The reason why I'm asking is I think you ought to talk to Dawn because Dawn does her company does a lot of fundraising. And so I just think that that's something that maybe you guys would have a connection for. You may find people who are coming to you that are interested in raising funds. She does fundraising for everything, but she does fundraising too for people who've had an accident or an illness and they need to come up with funds or whatever the case may be. And it's something that can be renewed and renewed. And so it's very interesting. And I try to put her in touch with any of those people. So because you may come in contact with people, it might be nice to have her as a tool in your toolbox to be able to guide people too.
Don, thank you very much, Lynn, for the connection. Don, I will be happy to connect with you and to see what we can collaborate and what we can create.
That sounds good. Thank you.
You have my telephone number next to my name, so if you don't mind, just give me a call and I will send you my calendar and just pick up a time that works for you.
Sure. Thank you.
Fred, the question you had asked earlier is why, did you say why a person should join the military? Was that a question you had asked when we had come back?
That question is going to be a question he's going to do on one of his
K-Fred Prime
shows.
Lives. Yeah, the next K-Fred Prime Live show, that's the question that'll be asked to our guests.
Good question. Good question.
What's the question?
Why should I join the military today? When you look at especially the last 4 years, the various military branches have missed their recruiting goals to the point where the military is starting to become seriously under strength. And so the question to the veterans, and we've got some phenomenal folks coming on from multiple branches, is, and these are people who are veterans, why should somebody join the military today? Because the messaging, has been changed, and they give no reason why to want to, join the military to defend a racist, misogynistic, oppressive, fascist, Nazi. What are some of the other words I've heard?
Communist,
invader, colonialist government. Why should I go and defend that? And that's the problem the military is having today. And so I've been asking this in private conversations to vets, and decided to make a really good show to ask all these vets. And one of the dudes is my hero. I mean, he's a ex-Green Beret, phenomenal, real American hero. And it's like, why me? I'm not going to. I'm 63. But why should an 18-year-old? Why should a 20-year-old? Why should a 25-year-old? Why should they join the military? I know at age 18, you have to register for the draft. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Every American male has to do the government's bidding and register for the draft. You have to. By law, every American male has to do that fact.
Even though we don't have a draft?
Even though we don't have a draft. Selective service.
It's fucking.
I know that they have missed their mark. Every branch of the military has missed their mark. I have 2 grandsons right now serving in the military, and they say the same thing. They are so understaffed, it's not funny. But a lot of the kids trying to get into the military today, many of them have a lot of drugs in their background, which prohibit them from going in. Tons of them physically are not capable of going because they're overweight. They're look, think about it. We dropped all the programs in school for gym. That's gone. So a lot of these kids don't get much physical activity. Yes. And so you're missing the mark for a whole lot of them. And a lot of them are getting very underwhelmed at what the benefits are anymore.
Exactly.
So they used to go in and say, well, I could get a college education. Now they're making it so screwy that they're not necessarily all going to get a college education.
What I would say is, because I have a few friends that have joined the military. Like I have one friend that joined the Air Force or whatever. Some people that I've noticed that are at least in my friend group, are joining the military is because they want to get away from their parents. Some joined it because and I even told them this myself. I said, you literally lack any type of purpose whatsoever. You're like a person wandering, lost, basically. I think the thing that the military has to do, and I've noticed this a little bit with their advertising. One advertising I literally saw today was oh, I get paid to do something that I literally legally cannot tell you or whatever. And it was it was an ad from the Navy. I think the thing is that, no offense to the older people or whatever, but the messaging that you use in the advertising and the recruitment process has to change. It can't be the same thing as, oh, we got to go do this for America and American freedom. Because when I was in second grade, right, and I was hearing, oh, yeah, we're doing this over in Afghanistan and Iraq or whatever for your freedom. And then I was like, I live here, though. I don't live in Afghanistan or whatever. And, also you're doing it for oil, which then I was sent out of the classroom for saying that to my second grade teacher. But I digress, right?
A lot of kids after 9/11 went because they didn't like what happened to this country, and the recruitment numbers went high.
No.
So the sense of love of country is really lacking these days. It really, truly is. When I hear people, I want to just shake them. When they say the flag is a trigger for them, that makes me crazy. That should never be a trigger. That should be a sense of pride in your country. If the flag triggers you, you're in the wrong country. Time for you to go find somewhere to be where the flag doesn't trigger you.
The question is then, how do you get the messaging to connect with the young people? My idea would be like, tell them, hey, you're gonna lose that. Or just like to keep blunt, you're gonna lose that fucking like lovely little rights that you have or whatever, right, to be LGBTQ in this country. Because the people that also hate this country, they don't like LGBTQ people or whatever. So you want to keep that? Well, guess what? Join the military, right? You have to actually tell them the things that they will lose because of the things that they actually value now. The things that obviously your guys' generation value is way different than what mine value. Me, I just value like human life and the fact that I can actually, wake up and go to Walmart or whatever and then like induce myself with microplastics. I think it all
starts in the schools. There's a lot of, they're not teaching our history in the school. They're not teaching civics in school anymore. They're not, all these things that were a part of creating you to be who you were so that at the age of 18 you could make a decision. We got a bunch of wimps now who can't even figure what bowl of cereal to eat in the morning. And they want to live in their mom's basement until they're 26. I mean, that's crazy.
That's funny you mention that because when I was in school, I always say like I had the last great American teachers because even though like they did their best to like avoid like all the bias or whatever, because when I went to school, 2016, and then I went to school during COVID or whatever. I'm only like 4 years now out of high school. I know, crazy or whatever. But something that was really interesting is that when kids came and they transferred from out of state, there are some states that don't require U.S. history. Like they just don't. Cough, cough, California, which makes the rest of the country suffer. But I digress, Like a lot of kids that were coming from California, they didn't have to learn world geo. They didn't have to learn certain things. Like there needs to be a set of standard across the actual country, even though I know that some people don't like, the Department of Education shoot mark.
That was interesting because
I'm not sure. Do they do the Pledge of Allegiance in school anymore? Because I'm amazed at some kids who don't know the pledge. I'm amazed at how many kids hear the Star Spangled Banner and don't even know.
Yes, folks, it's been another episode of Lunch with Lynn. We'll be back next week with some interesting discussion. You can also listen on kfred.com. That's kphred.com. Find us as a podcast on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, most platforms, or listen to us on KPHRED. I'm Fred McMurray, and this has been Lunch with Lynn. See you again next week, or talk to you again next week.